Welcome, you're watching Ask BQ on Bloomberg Quint Live. I am Agam and with me is Alex Matthew. Good afternoon, Alex.
Good afternoon, Agam. Well, it's a news-heavy day. If you've got questions about any of the updates that you've probably seen on BloombergQuint.com, then you can send those questions to us on Twitter, Facebook and WhatsApp. You can also call us on 022454044141 or you can mail us on askbq@bloombergquint.com. Only make sure to add the AskBQ hashtag.
Well, the benchmark indices continue to advance, and as far as the Sensex is concerned, of course, at those historical highs, the real question is, when does the Nifty advance to where its life highs? But that's a question that remains to be answered. For now, however, we are seeing fourth straight day of gains for the benchmark indices, so that of course is a positive, with the Nifty holding up about the mark of 11,700. The Nifty banking index is flat, and there are no prizes for guessing why. Weakness in the private sector banks, which is actually bearing down on the indices. Surprising. It's not always that we see that weakness in the private sector banks, and despite that, we see advances for the benchmarks. But the broader markets indices also, marginally in the green for the small cap index, a 0.25% higher as far as the mid cap index is concerned. And in terms of the gainers and losers, let's talk about some of your gainers. Of course, you have Tata Motors, along with Eicher Motors for that matter, all advancing. But what a move it's been for Tata Motors specifically, considering it is now inching towards the mark of 200, and a lot of technical indicators I suspect must have also improved along with that. Bharti Airtel is the other stock which is also up and about in trade. But let's take a look at some of those losers too, and perhaps see where there is a bearing down. So Bajaj Auto down around 1.6%, followed by Grasim, 1.5% HCL Technologies. So as you can see, the momentum is clearly with the gainers in terms of gains that we've seen, the advances that are coming through for a whole host of these names. But that's as far as the markets are concerned. Alex, we continue to see strength.
And of course, the big news update that we got just a short while back is that the Supreme Court has quashed the February 12 circular of the RBI that pertained to the resolution of large accounts.
Right.
And we're still waiting for the fine print with regard to how they came to that judgment. And while we do, we should, and we have already gotten some views in. Encourage you to go to the site bloombergquint.com and have a look at some of the views that have already been expressed on the limited information that we currently have. Let's get our two experts in for the day, Samir Kalra of Target Investing and Aditya Agarwala of Yes Securities. They're both here to answer all of your questions. Samir, just off the bat, this latest update with the information that we have right now, the entire circular has been shot down. What are the implications to your mind with the information that you have currently?
So I think in the shorter term, it benefits the power sector, and it benefits the banking sector much more than the power sector. Because what happens if you go according to the circular, you already 3 months into those NCLT situations. So 3 months more and they would have started to recognize it as an NPA. Then again that cycle of downturn would have started in banks, especially the PSU banks. Now this gives a big relief to them. So they can individually pick the project, pick the company, pick the situation, and then try to define the NPA and then move on.
Right.
So,
but the classification of NPA norm is not changing. 90 days is when you have to classify.
It doesn't change in that sense, but what happens when you classify it as an NPA? The
resolution process.
The BLRP, the provisions, that percentage of the provisions change. So systematically it helps out the smoothing of the process. I'm not saying the power companies really come back to power and then automatically they get the cash. But for the banks, this doesn't put the pressure on recognizing them all at once.
Okay.
So there were I think around 60 companies who were pending in this kind of a process. So if they come out and individually you start to create a resolution for them, I think this is much better than just bulking on them. And
so one would think that it would take longer, obviously, for a resolution to come through. In that sense, what are a few names that you would list for the short term?
So I think SBI is a pure shot over there, because if you see, SBI was the consortium lender almost in 30 of these 60 companies. PFC is another major player, especially when they have taken over RAC recently. So I think PFC has a good upside now, because I believe this was a major overhang even after the deal was done. So this gets the clear working, and now funding will be a much better place for them.
Okay, well, let's move on, take queries perhaps then. And the first one is actually a fundamental query, and it's on two stocks which are well related, if I can't necessarily say that they're from the same sector, Time Technoplast and Uflex. We have Vivek, who wants a 3-year view on both these companies. We're aware that Time Technoplast, of course, has a lot of marquee HNI names in invested in the company. Uflex, of course, is also in a related business, which is to do with manufacturing and selling of well, laminated products. Sameer, come in on this one. What would your advice to Vivek be on both these?
So I think the numbers have flattened out. So the story, at least initially, what was built on, that the capacity utilization will take place and that will increase the numbers quarter on quarter and YOY, that has played out. So now I think it's there and the valuations are cheaper, but the only thing is I don't see quarter on quarter improvement, which pushes back the valuations. So I think it's better if he doesn't have it, avoid it. If he has it, there can be a situation of a long pause before the valuation starts moving up. So even Uflex, I think the similar pattern, quarter on quarter, YOY performance, last 4 quarters have been good, but they are flattening now. So I think over there, the bump up of that delta and that valuation is out of the system as of now. And same thing they're facing.
All right. We've got a shorter term query. This one is from Mayank Saraf on Facebook. He's got 3 counters for you. One is Hikal, the second one is Royal Orchid, and RPG Life Sciences. So
I think we should take each of them one by one. So let's pull up Hikal first and take a look at how it's done.
Let's pull up the chart and see. In the year-to-date period, if we can, it's up and about in trade today, up about 1.6% or thereabouts. But you'll see that there has been a significant pickup towards the end of February is when that jump started coming about from levels of 140 or thereabouts all the way up to 185. Is there momentum building?
Yes, definitely there is momentum in the stock, no doubt about that. And in the previous trading week, it has actually broken out from this long consolidation of 175 on the upside to about 140 on the downside. Stock was for a very long period of time into this consolidation narrow band. Now it has broken out from this band and it is headed towards 200 levels. So my recommendation will be hold on to Hikal. Probably place a stop somewhere around 175 and look for upside targets of 200 definitely on the cards.
Let's look at Royal Orchid next. Stock is currently trading around 127. It's come down from levels that were seen say about if you look at the 12-month period.
Yes, definitely.
So what is the view here?
So this also post that sharp decline is seen some bit of a recovery from the lows of 90. It made a low of 90 recently and from there it's bounced back. There's just a minor hiccup around 137 to about 40 zone. If the stock takes out that level of 140 successfully, I believe the stock is headed to levels of 170 as well on the upside. Hold on to it again, put a stop around 110 and wait for targets of 150 to 160 on the upside, very much possible on the cards.
And the final count, we are just getting information that the Congress manifesto is going to be presented by Rahul Gandhi. We're just cutting across to find out exactly what that's all about.
कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष और सभी नेतागणों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। दोस्तों, हमें विश्वास है कि एक नए इतिहास की संरचना ये जन घोषणा पत्र 2019 करेगा और अब जिसकी हम सबको इंतजार था, मैं अनुरोध करूंगा कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष श्री राहुल गांधी जी से कि वो आएं और अपना वक्तव्य यहां दें।
सोनिया गांधी जी, मनमोहन सिंह जी, एंटनी जी, पी चिदम्बरम जी, Gowda ji, Venugopal ji, all my Congress colleagues, general secretaries, brothers and sisters, friends from the media, I'd like to welcome all of you here today. We are releasing this manifesto, and it is a massive step for the Congress party. When we started this process about a year back, I spoke to Mr. Chidambaram, Mr. Gowda, and I gave them two instructions. I said this is not to be a manifesto made in closed rooms. I understand that the Congress party has a lot of expertise, but this manifesto should reflect the wishes of the people of India. That was the first point. And the second point I said was whatever is going to be in this manifesto has to be truthful. I do not want a single thing in this manifesto that is a lie, because we have been hearing large numbers of lies spoken every day by our Prime Minister. So I'm happy to say that after over a year of work, they have delivered on both those promises. They have delivered the voice of the people, and I know that because the moment we speak about things that are in the manifesto, there is an immediate resonance from the people. तो जब हम इसके बारे में बोलते हैं, जब हम न्याय के बारे में बोलते हैं, जनता से एक रिस्पांस मिलता है। तो ये काफी अच्छी तरीके से हमारी मैनिफेस्टो कमेटी ने काम किया है। तो मैं चिदम्बरम जी का, गाउडा जी का और हमारी बाकी टीम का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। मनमोहन सिंह जी ने अपनी एक्सपर्टीज दी, मैनिफेस्टो को एसेस किया, वेट किया। एंटनी जी ने अपना एक्सपीरियंस दिया, तो उनका भी मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। और सोनिया जी ने भी अपने विचार मैनिफेस्टो पे हमें दिए, तो सबका मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। देखिए, मैनिफेस्टो में 5 बड़े आइडिया हैं। हमारा हाथ का सिंबल है और 5 हमारे मेन थीम्स हैं। सबसे पहला थीम न्याय का थीम। प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि 15 लाख रुपए हर बैंक अकाउंट में डालेंगे, और वो झूठ था। पूरा देश जानता है कि वो झूठ था। हमने उनकी बात पकड़ी और मैंने मैनिफेस्टो कमेटी से पूछा और कहा कि सच्चाई निकाल के हमें दीजिए। हिंदुस्तान के गरीब लोगों के बैंक अकाउंट में सचमुच हिंदुस्तान की सरकार कितना पैसा डाल सकती है? और एक नंबर दिया उन्होंने मुझे, 72,000 रुपए हर साल। गरीबी पर वार 72,000। और यह कांग्रेस पार्टी की पहली गारंटी है कि हिंदुस्तान के 20% सबसे गरीब परिवारों को हर महीने उनके बैंक अकाउंट में कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार डायरेक्ट पैसा डालेगी। 1 साल में 72,000, 5 साल में 3,60,000। इससे 2 काम होंगे। पहला काम, गरीबों के जेब में पैसा जाएगा, किसानों के जेब में डायरेक्ट पैसा जाएगा, पहली बार। और दूसरा काम, जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने नोटबंदी करके, जीएसटी करके हिंदुस्तान की अर्थव्यवस्था की धज्जियां उड़ा दी हैं, जैम कर दी पूरी अर्थव्यवस्था को, वो अर्थव्यवस्था एक बार फिर जंप स्टार्ट होकर चालू हो जाएगी। तो ये हमारा पहला कदम न्याय का कदम। दूसरा, चिदंबरम जी ने कहा सबसे बड़े दो मुद्दे हैं, रोजगार और किसान। देश में युवाओं को रोजगार नहीं मिल रहा है। नरेंद्र मोदी ने 2 करोड़ की बात की, झूठ। मैंने इस मामले में भी मैनिफेस्टो कमेटी से कहा, मुझे आप सच्चाई बताइए, सच्चाई क्या है। 2 करोड़ नहीं किए जा सकते तो आप मुझे बताइए सच्चाई क्या है। मैं सच्चाई बोलना चाहता हूं और सच्चाई बड़ी क्लियर है। 22 लाख सरकारी रोजगार खाली पड़े हैं, उनको कांग्रेस पार्टी मार्च 2020 तक भर के दे देगी। 10 लाख युवाओं को ग्राम पंचायतों में रोजगार दिया जा सकता है। उन 10 लाख युवाओं को कांग्रेस पार्टी ग्राम पंचायतों में रोजगार दे देगी। एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के लिए, आज अगर आप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करना चाहते हैं, मेक इन इंडिया की दुनिया में आप बिजनेस खोलना चाहते हैं, अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट से आपको परमिशन लेनी पड़ती है, रिश्वत देनी पड़ती है। हमने एक बहुत इनोवेटिव आइडिया निकाला है। 3 साल के लिए हिंदुस्तान के युवाओं को बिजनेस खोलने के लिए कोई परमिशन की जरूरत नहीं, किसी से कोई परमिशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं। आप जाइए, एकदम बिजनेस खोलिए, जो बिजनेस आप करना चाहते हैं करिए, हिंदुस्तान को रोजगार दिलवाइए। आप हिंदुस्तान को रोजगार दिलवाएंगे, हम आपकी मदद करेंगे, बैंक के दरवाजे आपके लिए खोलेंगे। 3 साल के लिए कोई परमिशन की जरूरत नहीं। प्रधानमंत्री ने मनरेगा के बारे में बोला, बोगस स्कीम है, बेकार स्कीम है, मजाक उड़ाया। आज पूरा देश जानता है कि मनरेगा ने हिंदुस्तान की कितनी मदद की थी। तो हम मनरेगा के 150 दिन गारंटी करना चाहते हैं। 100 से अब हम 150 दिन गारंटी करना चाहते हैं। किसान की बात आप लोग जानते हैं। मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, राजस्थान, पंजाब, कर्नाटक में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कर्जा माफ किया। 10 दिन के अंदर कहा था, हम 10 दिन में कर देंगे, 2 दिन के अंदर कर दिया। तो हमारी आप इंटेंशन अच्छी तरह समझ सकते हो। तो किसानों के लिए हमने 2 चीजें, बड़ी चीजें सोची हैं। एक कि एक सेपरेट किसान बजट होना चाहिए, जैसे रेलवे बजट होता था, किसानों का एक सेपरेट बजट होना चाहिए। हिंदुस्तान के किसान को मालूम होना चाहिए कि उसको कितना पैसा दिया जा रहा है, उसकी एमएसपी कितनी बढ़ाई जाएगी, सब उसके सामने होना चाहिए। दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी होना चाहिए। तो यह हमारा पहला स्टेप। और दूसरा ऐतिहासिक स्टेप, हिस्टोरिकल स्टेप। देखिए, करोड़पति बैंक लोन लेते हैं। आपने देखा, अनिल अंबानी जैसे लोग, मेहुल चोकसी जैसे लोग, नीरव मोदी जैसे लोग चोरी करके बैंक का पैसा लेकर भाग जाते हैं। मगर जो हमारे किसान हैं, ईमानदार लोग, वो जब बैंक लोन लेते हैं, अगर वो पैसा वापस नहीं दे पाते हैं तो उनको जेल में डाल दिया जाता है, क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस माना जाता है। हमने निर्णय लिया है कि उसको अब हम क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस ना माने। अगर किसान कर्जा ना दे पाए तो वो क्रिमिनल ऑफेंस ना हो, वो सिविल ऑफेंस हो। तो यह भी एक बहुत ऐतिहासिक निर्णय है। शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य हिंदुस्तान के भविष्य के लिए बहुत जरूरी है। शिक्षा में हमने निर्णय लिया है कि जीडीपी का 6% पैसा, 6% पैसा हिंदुस्तान की शिक्षा में दिया जाए। यूनिवर्सिटीज, कॉलेजेस, आईआईटीज, आईआईएम, हमारे जो बेहतर सबसे टॉप क्वालिटी के इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, हम उनको सब जगह, सब लोगों के लिए एक्सेसिबल बनाना चाहते हैं। तो एजुकेशन के लिए हमारा 6% बजट का टारगेट है। नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने उसको रिड्यूस किया है, यूपीए के समय से रिड्यूस किया है। हेल्थ केयर में सरकार एक स्कीम लाई है। बेसिकली स्कीम का लक्ष्य हिंदुस्तान की जनता से पैसा लेकर 10-15 उद्योगपतियों को इंश्योरेंस के माध्यम से उनके जेब में पैसा डालना। तो हम प्राइवेट इंश्योरेंस बेस्ड हेल्थ केयर पर भरोसा नहीं करते हैं। हम सरकारी अस्पतालों को, सरकारी पब्लिक हेल्थ को मजबूत करने का काम करेंगे और हमारा फोकस होगा कि गरीब से गरीब व्यक्ति को हाई क्वालिटी अस्पताल की एक्सेस हो, हाई क्वालिटी इलाज की एक्सेस हो। तो ये हमारे 5 फोकस एरियाज होंगे। नेशनल सिक्योरिटी और इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी की आप जानते हैं, कांग्रेस पार्टी का आपको रिकॉर्ड मालूम है। पिछले 5 सालों में बीजेपी की सरकार ने देश को बांटने का काम किया है, नफरत फैलाने का काम किया है और उनका रिकॉर्ड आपको दिख रहा है। जम्मू कश्मीर में उनका रिकॉर्ड आपको दिख रहा है। आतंकवाद के जो कैजुअलिटीज हैं वो बढ़ती जा रही हैं। तो हम कांग्रेस पार्टी देश को जोड़ने का काम करेगी, देश को एक साथ लाने का काम करेगी और जो हमारा नेशनल और इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी है उस पे हमारा जबरदस्त फोकस होगा। आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू। जय हिंद।
आदरणीय कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। अवश्य ही हम निभाएंगे के वादे के साथ।
All right, that was the presentation of the Congress manifesto by the party president Rahul Gandhi. Let's move back to some of the questions that we have from various viewers. In fact, we've got one Twitter query that came in a short while back. Deepak is asking about the long-term fundamental view for Godrej Consumer. Let's pull up the stock and see where it's currently trading. Samir, Godrej Consumer currently around 660. Not doing too well in trade today, but how do you view the fundamentals?
So fundamentals, it's created into such a situation that it's acquisition through growth. Right now that has stopped for a while. So the numbers are flattening out, and that you can see even domestically and internationally for them. So I think now that there is a concern for a couple of quarters. I think there is a further still a downside there into the numbers. And I think if he's not in, he should look at like Q3 of FY20 and then take a call on it.
Okay.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's Godrej Consumers. Of course, as we all know, we've been through some challenging quarters. But on Facebook, we have Satya, who wants a 3-month view on JSPL, that's Jindal Steel and Power. And but Satya said that he bought Jindal Steel and Power at 130. I reckon this is largely on a technical basis, and of course it's at 184. So Aditya, would you recommend that he book profits or trail with stop losses?
So two things, definitely. One is I would strongly recommend trail stop loss at 170. Okay. His buying price is 130. Even if he trails the stop loss at 170, he's still in the money with 40 bucks. That's a decent amount of money. Right. Second, I would recommend him book profits around 192. That is the resistance zone as of now. And considering the fact that the markets have run up, this stock has also run up quite significantly from the lows. You can see some bit of profit booking, and you don't want to lose out on that profit portion that you're sitting on. So put a stop loss, trailing stop loss at 170 and target 190. If it comes somewhere around 190, my recommendation is book profits.
Okay. Okay. We've got the result of the RBI policy meet that will come out on Thursday, and Jayesh Tulsiani's question is pertaining to that. Now, I'll leave it to you. Yeah. To answer exactly what he's saying. I have a different view, but then obviously he's here to listen to you. He's asking, can the RBI rate cut affect the bank's rally, which is at a halt right now?
He means restart it?
Yes.
I think it's more momentum rally. It's nothing to do with the RBI cuts from my point of view. It's more of the scope of PSU banks now playing a major role further down the market in next 1 year, 1.5 years. So I think irrespective of whether RBI cuts or not, I think next 1 year will be a PSU bank led rally. Okay. Because there are a lot of PCA banks which have come out of PCA, and they have a large base of around 11 lakh crores. So that even a 10% will give you 1 lakh crore. Okay. And this is the second time RBI is coming with a US dollar swap. of $5 billion more. So that pushes the liquidity even further. So I think this play is more important than the RBI 25 bips.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's time for the rapid fire segment. So I'm going to request our experts to keep their answers as short as possible. Though, again, as usual, I'm not very worried about with this panel that we have right now. Our next question is from Abrar Ali, and he wants a 2 to 3 month view on Sanghi Industries. He said, what can we do with this one? If we can pull up Sanghi Industries currently at 64.5, Aditya.
Not too bullish out here. Put a stop at 60. If that is taken out, you are exit from the trade.
Okay. Riddhish Shah wants to know about Dwarikesh Sugar. Should he put money into this counter?
No, take up Praj if you want.
Praj. Okay.
Okay. We have a question on South Indian Bank. And as well as we have a question on a bunch of these companies, but South Indian Bank and Future Consumer and La Opala. These are the three I'm going to pick from Shalom Ranga's list. Let's start with South Indian Bank, Samir.
I think avoid it.
Future Consumer?
Avoid it.
And La Opala.
You can buy it at current prices.
Okay, we might as well complete the picture. Urja Global, ITC and V-Guard. Would you pick any one of those?
Urja Global, avoid it. ITC, you can nibble in. And last one was, sorry.
And V-Guard.
V-Guard, you can nibble again.
Okay, again, Faisal Kalivalapil. He's got a question on Kaveri Seed.
Yeah.
He's holding 500 at levels of 570. Let's pull up the chart and see where it's trading. It's losing ground.
I think get out and then you can shift to a biocrop science or a PI industry.
Okay.
Okay. Pankaj Yadav wants to know, is it a good time to buy Punjab National Bank with a 3 month view? We can quickly pull that up as well at 98.5. Aditya, what is your recommendation?
No, I would advise him to go in for another bank rather than a Punjab National Bank. Either look for a KTK bank or a syndicate bank or a union bank.
Okay. So that is a part of the second question. Suggest a stock in the short term. So I suppose Aditya has your answer there.
Okay. We also have a big update on Godrej Properties. Would you recommend getting into that counter based on the current updates?
Not now. I think that's priced in as of now.
Okay.
All right. Puneet wants to know, should I buy Axis Bank or RBL Bank with a 1 year point of view? I will take this with Aditya. Axis Bank and RBL Bank.
I would definitely go in with an RBL Bank. I believe stock made a consolidation and now it's poised towards move towards above 700. Axis, most of the gains already done, so RBL Bank.
On that note, well, that's all we have for you on this edition of Ask PQ. Thank you so much, Aditya and Samir, for helping us with the queries that you did answer today. That's all we have for you on this edition. Do remember, we're just a tweet post or call away. Up next is Power Lunch, so do stay tuned. This is Bloomberg Quint.